Very pleased that we joined here on Radio Row, adjacent in San Francisco at the Super Bowl, by one of the most incredible people in the history of the world. The one and only, the dashing, the debonair, the legendary, the internationally famous. It is Barry Sanders. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Great to be here.
I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'll be straight up with you. So Emmett's my guy. But understanding that Emmett's my guy, you're my favorite running back of all time. You know what I mean? Like, Emmett holds a special place in an understandable way. So all bias aside, you're the GOAT. And I feel like you are that for a lot of people, and you've known that for a long time. What is that like to live over and over again?
No, it's pretty sweet, actually. It's funny because I had a chance to spend a few minutes with Emmett yesterday.
Sure.
You know, you run into a lot of former players and, you know, Hall of Famers in a setting like this. But no, it's pretty cool because I've always loved running backs even since I was a kid, and I always followed different running backs. And like you were saying, hey, I personally have my favorites as well.
Who are they?
Well, guys like Tony Dorsett,
of course.
You know, because I was, you know, in my formative years, he was in college at the University of Pittsburgh. And that's kind of when I first started playing football. And it was one of the things that I keyed on is that, you know, it was obvious that he was like the smallest guy on the field, but like the most dominant.
Right.
And so that's what caught my attention. So anyway, so for me to be in that position for fans and what have you is something I could have never imagined. It's pretty cool.
I do love the smaller guys. You obviously have kind of carried the mantle. Floyd Little, another favorite of mine, shared a Hall of Fame class with Emmett. And that adds to the kind of specialness. I mean, just a really, really, really talented back that we don't talk about. I mean, guys like you get all the love and all the attention. I'm curious, Michael Irvin has said something about different players wearing 88 before, that he likes that we're reminded of, right? Like, because the 88 is kind of a hallmark of who Irvin was. That's what CeeDee Lamb sort of, you know, personifies these days. I'm curious with the Lions being amazing now. It's clearly with all due respect, maybe the best era of Lions football that we've seen. And I feel like that's introduced a whole new generation of fans to what the Lions have always been. You had a documentary come out recently that kind of taught people that. Like, has it been interesting to have people gravitate towards the Lions because of their recent success and learn about the past players like you, Charlie Sanders, one of my all-time favorite Lions.
Charlie Sanders, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has been because there is what we believe is a rich history of Lions players, right? And it's funny because during my career, you know, we had been, you know, pretty much a doormat leading up to those years, right? You know, but there was a time going way back, right, where you have those few Lions fans who are older who remember Night Train Lane, right, or you know, who remember Joe Smith,
of course,
and guys like that, you know, and so. You know, so it's really like the glory days of Lions, and so almost like going back to the days of when the real Thanksgiving tradition,
of course,
of Lions football first happened.
Yeah.
Right. And so it is sort of it is pretty impressive to be able to connect those dots and connect those generations.
And wake
Lions
them up,
fans, yeah, absolutely. We feel like we've been, you know, Lions fans have been almost awakened from the dead. You know,
yeah.
of giving a new life. I guess that's probably a new way to put it. You know, we breathe new life into the fandom and you know the energy around Lions football. You know, so that's what Coach Campbell has been able to do. Absolutely,
I love that. Like I said, Charlie Sanders, my guy. My second favorite line with the last name Sanders for obvious reasons. But that being said, I know you're here with Rocket. I'm a Rocket customer personally. So this isn't, you know, just fluff. I use Rocket for my home, my wife and I. What do you love about Rocket, and what goes into making a neighbor incredible in that sense?
Well, what I love about Rocket is, you know, they're not just a great Detroit company, but they really are our neighbors, our family members, you know, and what they've done in Detroit and even broader communities is just amazing. How they've served those communities in so many different ways. When you talk about mortgages and home finance and all those things, so they're great people. They have a lot of heart, you know, and it's not just about the business part of it, but they're deeply entrenched in the community. What they've done in Detroit is just remarkable in rebuilding, helping rebuild downtown and in that community. So, but yeah, they have great heart. They care about the communities and care about serving the customers.
They're 3-1-3 all the way through. I'm a big golf fan. They have the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I mean, they love Detroit, one of the more underrated cities in our country. And again, that's one of the things that the current Lions are doing, just shining a light on the past of what Lions football is, the modernization of what Detroit has become. You've obviously lifted that up. As we wrap up, Mr. Sanders, it's just been so wonderful to talk to you. We just finalized the new Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Your favorite thing about learning who's a part of that crew every year and welcoming them into immortality? It has to be awesome to just get new people in and see the sense of excitement on their faces over and over and over again.
Absolutely. I mean, this class is no different. I mean, you look at the guys who were inducted, the Luke Kuechly,
Right.
He's one of those guys as a running back, I had a great appreciation for a guy like him. We played the game, kind of like a Dick Butkus type guy.
Oh, man.
Luke Kuechly's one of those guys where running backs, would always be aware of, right? Or a guy like Drew Brees who, set so many records. And a guy, again, who I can appreciate because Drew Brees he's not 6'5",
right,
250. He's like, I guess you can give him 6 feet, but he played the game big though as a quarterback, right? He played the game big. And Adam Vinatieri, obviously the big moments, right, that he participated in the game and all those successful game-winning field goals. And Roger Craig was someone, as a running back, obviously. Roger's just a couple years older than me, so being able to be a fan of his, as maybe a high school or a college player,
sure,
and then coming into the NFL and actually competing against him, and actually just getting a chance to know him, and you think about the dynasty that the Niners had, right, and all the great players. Roger was a big part of that,
of course,
right? And so yeah. I'm missing one.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing about Larry is his dad was a sports reporter,
of course, in Minnesota. Yeah, the legend
in Minnesota. So I remember seeing Larry as a kid, right, on the sidelines as a ball boy for the Vikings, and then he goes to the University of Pittsburgh and dominates, and then obviously carried that domination into the NFL. And he's such a great guy, right? And so what he did for the Cardinals franchise. I feel like there's a lot of similarities to his career and my career, and so it just in that it wasn't a historically great franchise, but he took him to a Super Bowl.
Of course,
he took him to a Super Bowl. So just it was a great class, and really well deserving for all those guys, and it was great to be there.
Well, Mr. Sanders, it was wonderful to talk to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you to Rocket for all the work they're doing and for today. Enjoy the off season. Finally, play some more golf.
That's definitely in the plans. Yes.